Hi, so today's topic is how to express your emotions effectively. In a recent blog you may have read, I wrote about how as a society we are able to express ourselves more freely. It feels like the days of the British stiff upper lip where we felt we needed to suppress are well and truly on the way out. And this can be with the help of social media platforms. Or we get together with our girlfriends more freely or our friends more freely and we put the world to rights. I know I do on a weekly basis. Or put something on social media that's made me happy or angry or sad. But the key to expressing your emotions effectively is to understand where they came from in the first place, and more importantly, what you can do to make them more effective, so you're not just simply overreacting to situations or circumstances or people. Instead, you're responding from a balanced viewpoint. So getting in touch with what your emotions are trying to tell you is one of the more important elements to talking freely. And quite often we only know how to react to a situation depending on our interpretation of the event, and we could be completely off key. I'm sure all of us have experienced an overreaction only to find out later it was we've completely misinterpreted the situation. By understanding what our emotions are telling us is the key to understanding what may need healing emotionally. Maybe, for instance, you tend to overshare and then wonder why you did that, and that can lead to shame or guilt and regret. But behind that behaviour could be lying a desperate need to feel connected to people or to be liked. Or maybe you can't say no to people and you feel friends, family members, colleagues, they put on you. And maybe the reason you can't say no is because you have a pleaser personality type running through you. So getting in touch with what lies underneath will be the turning point in your personal growth. If you're not happy with certain areas of your life, your career, your relationships, then you need to start observing the way you are expressing yourself emotionally. So if you have a pen, a piece of paper, or you can play this back, I'm sure, because there are some questions that you can use to ask yourself if you maybe need to go a little bit deeper with this work. So the first question is, do you tend to overreact and think later? Do you get emotionally triggered by colleagues, family, friends? Do people, as we call, push your buttons easily? Do you tend to criticise or judge yourself too often? And do you feel anxious in social situations? Do you feel inadequate in work situations? And do you experience low self-worth in relationships? So, as children, we receive conditioning from those who bring us up, our parents, our teachers, society, religion, which is all really helpful as young children when we're trying to navigate and live in this world form. But it can also be limiting, and it can force separation and fear upon us. And when events in early childhood happen, we form what's called a script. And scripts are simply conclusions and misunderstandings that try to keep us emotionally protected from that painful event happening again. Scripts always accompany an emotion reaction, a contraction or a fear. So how your personality is formed is one of the key to understanding your relationships and life and how you present yourself to the world. So when you were born, obviously babies completely vulnerable and dependent on others for their survival. And as we grow, we may realise that the world we live in, can even be your parents, are not filled with unconditional love. And many people in our lives may have been stressed out and reacted and responded to us negatively. So we build up what's called an energetic shield in our system, and this becomes our protection for our survival and for our well-being. And we do this to simply protect the vulnerable child that we begin our life as children. We don't have the vocabulary, and we don't know how to express ourselves effectively. So this protective covering is what forms our personality. It contains within it duality, which is both positive and negative behaviours, and obviously everything in between. But this is what we use to express ourselves. It's the mask or the covering that we wear, and we communicate through this mask in all of our relationships. We form personality types and sub-personalities. This is way too much to go into here, but there are some questions that you can answer to see if you can understand what personality driver, what main personality driver is the personality that you present to the world. So think about when you were growing up, who in your family, or what were the main rules that dominated your family concerning how you should behave and the type of person you should be? It could have been the rule maker, the pleaser. So the ways in which you stick to these rules are, finish that sentence so you can see how that's still playing out in you. And the things that got you the most approval in your family were, that could be high achieving, etc. And the things that still get you approval, either from your family or other people. Another, perfect example is high achievers. They do that to possibly get approval. So think about how you would answer those questions. Feel free to email them to me at iam@annemarielifecoach.com, and I can certainly help you uncover. It's a really deep topic, but once you understand what's driving your behaviour, what mask you could be wearing, you can shift it, because it is simply an energetic shift. And we have so many different personalities that play out all day. And once you get to know that they are just voices, they are not voices in the cuckoo sense, but they are energetic shifts that come in, they come out, they come in, they come out. And when you learn how to separate these from you, then you feel so much more empowered when you get faced with a situation and you know through your own conviction that it's actually you answering, not your personality driver. Fascinating work to do, so empowering, so powerful. So I hope this has helped, and I'll see you all tomorrow.